everyone, and welcome back to Full House Games. We have the semi-finals of the July Big Legacy event at Good Games, and on camera we have David Brocci, who is also joining us to commentate on how he did in this matchup. He is playing against Dougal, who is our best Death and Taxes player, as we mentioned before, and also joining us to commentate is Boyd Fanicola.
Yeah, so we're in the top four now. I actually proposed a top four split before this because I don't like this matchup.
It was ridiculously hot.
It was ridiculous. The air conditioning was broken in the store, and it was 32 degrees, and they were all sweating our bums off. I wanted to split. Dougal probably correctly declined because as I said, I don't like this matchup.
Charlie who declined.
No, I think they all declined.
Oh, okay.
I think they all declined. So we're playing it out. I'm on mono blue Omnitell. I'll
run us through the deck.
It's essentially cast into the infinite with Omniscience in play, and you win the game. So the whole deck is geared towards doing that. So first of all, you've got your early game show and tell into Omniscience, cast into the infinite. A bit later on, you've got hard cast Dream Halls into the infinite, and I've also got a Cunning Wish package running the full 4 Cunning Wishes.
Okay.
With some interesting cards as one-offs in the sideboard to wish for. So, and it's actually the kill is totally contained in the sideboard. There's no kill condition main deck.
All right.
So there's no worries about drawing your win condition and having it sitting dead in your hand because it's not in the deck at all.
Okay. So run us through Dream Halls. Not a card many people have probably heard of.
No, Dream Hall's a stronghold enchantment, 3 colorless, 2 blue mana. It allows you to discard a card that shares a colour with the card you want to cast rather than paying its mana cost. So, for example, if I wanted to cast Omniscience, when the Dream Hall's in play, all I'd need to do instead of paying the 10 mana was discard a blue card.
So it effectively makes all of your cards a force of will.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't exile.
Exactly.
That's what you're telling me.
Exactly right. What you've got to note, though, is that it works for the opponent as well.
Okay.
So if you're ever playing Dream Halls, and it's on the other side of the board, remember you can pitch your cards to cast your own spells. So if you've got a Spell Pierce but no mana to play it, you've got a blue card in hand, you can play that Spell Pierce.
Force of Will, Spell Pierce.
Exactly right. Force of Will no longer costs you a life, just costs you a card discard. So there are uniform benefits. However, my deck's set up very much to abuse the Dream Halls engine.
Very nice.
So Dougal is mulling to 6 here, which I'm always happy to see.
Absolutely, as you would be in any matchup.
And this is my first feature match, by the way, so please excuse me if I'm a little nervous.
That's right. Boyd, to question you, who's your favourite for this matchup? Because we obviously know who Brocchi's is going to be.
Yeah,
he's going to pick himself.
No. Look. In terms of matchup, I think this is bad for me. Okay. But Boyd may think differently. I'm not sure.
I'm not too familiar with Omniscience or DNT because I've barely ever played either of the two. But if you were to look at a very lame person's perspective, I would say that Omniscience has the matchup due for the fact you just combo. I'm not too sure on how you would play DNT to beat combo. I'm sure Dougal knows all about it. But from a completely external perspective, I would say that Omnitell has the win.
I'm a slower combo deck. I don't have any acceleration such as Lotus Petals. I do run Ancient Tombs, as you can see one in my hand. But otherwise, I'm actually not a turn 2 deck. I'm usually a turn 3 or 4 deck. Given that I do usually have to assemble, it's either a 2 or 3 card combo in my hand to win the game. So Death and Taxes does a lot to stop me from doing that. We've got Thalia, we've got Ethersworn Canonist, we've got Spirit of the Labyrinth, and all of that stuff affects the efficiency with which I can cantrip and dig through my deck, so fairly annoying. And I was lucky in this first game that Dougal's missed his land drop, so I didn't see a turn 2 Thalia.
That's very nice.
So I now have an Ancient Tomb and an Island. Just drew a City of Traders there. I do have another Preordain, I believe.
Did you have a show and tell in hand at this point?
I don't think I did.
Okay. Alright, fair enough.
No, so I'm looking. I've got an Enter the Infinite there. I probably have an Omniscience as well, or a Dream Halls. I'm probably just lacking.
You have a Dream Halls and
an
Omniscience.
You can definitely. Oh, you have both. Very nice. Alright, so Omniscience basically allows you to cast all your spells for free.
Yeah, I'm obviously missing something because I'm looking at.
I think it might be that show and tell that you're missing. But another island allows you to play that City of Traders next turn and go for a Dream Hall.
Yeah, hard cast Dream Halls. I think that might be what I was doing in this situation.
Okay. Very nice. Dougal is obviously not applying as much pressure.
No, and that was my saving grace in his first game. He has hit his second land drop though, and I'd expect that a Thalia is going to come down now. No, it's a stone. Yes, it is a Thalia. So yeah, this is the card that his main deck is a 4 of in Death and Taxes that I just don't like seeing. Because all of my Ponders and Preordains and Brainstorms cost 2, and that is really frustrating.
Yeah.
Also, when I'm comboing, even with Omniscience, all of my spells are costing 1, so I've got to have a surplus of mana available to me.
That's absolutely
and
correct.
It can be difficult with even having Wastelands and Ports. So, playing a City of Traders.
Yeah, fair enough.
It looks like that I am hard casting a Dream Halls.
Okay.
So this is probably one of the least. This is the least efficient way of me to kick things off. I'd prefer to go show and tell straight into Omniscience because it costs less. But this is equally as applicable, especially in a matchup in the counter spells.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you expect here just to sort of wait a turn.
Yeah, that's you can see me doing a bit of math as to what I need to do here. And I pass the turn back over.
Alright. Alright, so run us through your wish board.
My wish board, you'll be able to see it in a moment. As I said, the kill is entirely in the sideboard. So what I'm doing is, first of all, I need to draw my deck. So I'll be doing that hopefully next turn. I then Cunning Wish for research and development. Research allows you to search, shuffle up to 4 cards you own from outside the game into your deck. And then the development is you put 3/1 tokens into play. It's the research side I'm more interested in though. I shuffle Laboratory Maniac in, and then I draw, essentially draw my deck with my redundant, my leftover cantrips, and win the game.
Okay.
Using Laboratory Maniac. So it's not a kill condition that many people play. Most people like the Emrakul into Release the Ants win condition, I think. But
Release the Ants?
Release the Ants? It's the one where you reveal the top card of your library.
And you clash.
You clash. If you win, put that card on top of your library.
You reveal the top card of your library and you fight via converted mana cost.
And then if you win, it returns to your hand. So essentially, if you've got an Emrakul or an Enter the Infinite on top of your library, you're fine. So here I go into Omniscience, paying the 1 mana for Thalia. Casting Into the Infinite using the 2nd mana from the City of Traders. Doing the most unfair thing you can do in the entire Magic is pretty much drawing your entire deck.
And putting 1 back.
Yep, for 1 colourless mana.
Yeah, that seems pretty strong.
Yep, so draw the entire deck. I usually pop back an Ancient Tomb.
Yep.
Because it's usually something I don't need.
Absolutely. And do you play your extra land here, or?
I'm not sure if I even bother.
Okay.
I think I may play out a City of Traders again.
Just for safety net?
Yeah, I think so. Just but if I don't, I should have. So mental note for next time.
All right. So what do you think would be a strategy for Dougal to sideboard in here, boy?
Aether Sworn Canonist would be a good one. I'm not sure if this has anything. Does this have anything to do with the grave watching?
No, nothing at all.
So no grave hate comes in. Yeah, I really can't. I guess Oblivion Ring for the enter the battlefield trigger on the Omniscience.
Yep,
Dream
that would
Halls.
be coming in.
But you can just
Probably
wish
seals
the trick bind, can't you?
Seals of Cleansing, yeah. So I'm wishing
Seal
for
of
Wipe
Cleansing.
Away here, which is a 1 colourless 2 blue return target permanent to its owner's hand. Split second. So I'm going to be bouncing with Thalia.
Okay, so the split second allows you to sort of get around that Mother of
It
Runes
does,
interaction.
yes.
Alright.
So I pay a mana for that off my Ancient Tomb. And now I'm going to Cunning Wish again. for the kill.
Cunning Wish is an instant which allows you to Cunning Wish for an instant.
Yeah, that's right. Search your, take a card from outside the game, put it in your hand, exile Cunning Wish. So Dougal has viled in response. He's going to put his Thalia back in.
Yep.
So what I've done is incorrectly Cunning Wished for my Trick Bind.
And
so incorrectly,
why was it incorrect?
because I have a Trick Bind in my hand, because I did play one main deck. So I'm just showing off here. This is called showboating. It's actually called not knowing your deck properly. This is my first tournament with this deck, essentially. So
okay. Well, you've done very well for yourself. You are in the semi-finals, so, and I believe you were able to go X and O.
I did
with intentional draw.
Yeah, I did go XO in the Swiss as well. So in fact, the only game losses I have in this, I did take my first game loss in this match. So.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
right.
so everyone, I managed to 2-0 everyone to here, so I was very happy.
Very nice.
So here I am researching for my Laboratory Maniac.
Yep. That was your Cunning Wish for that one.
Which I will do.
Mm-hmm. Now, Cunning Wish is an instant that allows you to fetch an instant from your sideboard.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
And Research and Development just lets you get a card. There I am shuffling my library, all 2 cards of it. So Dougal's cutting me, all 2 cards of it.
It lets you get 4 cards.
Essentially, yeah, you've got the ability to get 4 cards.
So why don't you make use of that full 4?
Well, I don't need them. There's nothing that I really need to do now except cast Laboratory Maniac and draw out my empty library.
Okay.
I've got ample resources to do that in my hand. So.
Okay. Alright, so presumably you take game 1 here.
I'm about to cast the Lab Maniac, so yes, I do. So cast Lab Maniac, and then I'm going to cast a Ponder. Dougal is scooping. But,
Alright.
Look, that's I think I got off quite lightly there because Dougal did miss that land drop. If that Thalia had come down a turn earlier, it might have been a little bit more difficult for me.
So what is your sideboard plan against something like Death and Taxes?
Well, I run Pact of Negation main board instead of Force of Will. And they're totally useless in this matchup. So I take them out, bring in Thought Seizers, and I also bring in Toxic Deluge.
Okay.
So I can wipe Dougal's board.
So you splash black.
Yeah, I do. There's a little bit of a black splash there. There's an Underground Sea in main board and a Swamp in the sideboard. So I bring in the Swamp as well, just because Dougal has got a lot of land destruction.
Alright, fair enough.
And here you see the painted to David Brocci sideboarding technique. Ram the whole 15 cards of your sideboard in your deck and pull 15 back out.
Oh, okay.
So it's just easier with a Cunning Wish board to do that and make sure you've got it right. Otherwise you'll leave your Wish target's main board and get game losses.
Alright, so explain it to me. You put your 75 together.
Yep, and then take out 15.
Okay. So what 15 do you typically take out?
Now I'd be taking all my Wish targets out plus 3 Pact of Negation. I think I take a Dream Halls out.
You're taking out your Flusterstorms.
I think I did take out my Flusterstorms actually. Because you don't really need counterspell against Dougal. You just need ways of interacting with the board, not stack.
Was that Judge Foil Flusterstorm?
That is a Judge Foil Flusterstorm.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about going on a Pimp expedition with this deck and falling it out. So
Very nice.
Yeah, well, you have done very well with it.
Yeah, it's I really like it. Oh no, I took an island out. That's right.
Okay, so
an island replaced the Swamp replaced an island. So I'm still sitting on 19 land, but I'm unsure about that. I'm not sure whether I should be actually going up to 20 land against Dougal because he does have ports and wastelands, and I think I'm going to try that next time I manage to face him.
Okay.
Yeah, Dougal though, we see the Eversworn Canonist come in, Spirit of the Labyrinth, Thalia, so he's just going to try and layer hate on me. And if he gets the right draw, he can do that turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. He can just keep putting piece upon piece upon piece on me.
Absolutely.
It just gets to the stage where you can't do much at all.
So, run me through the interaction between Spirit of the Labyrinth and Enter the Infinite.
Well, if Spirit of the Labyrinth is on the board, Into the Infinite is essentially do nothing and put a card from your hand back on top of your library.
Alright, so...
It's terrible.
Yeah.
So you need to deal with that spirit.
Really overcosted Brainstorm.
12 mana Brainstorm. Not Evo it's worse
It
than
doesn't even
Brainstorm.
get you 3 cards.
It doesn't even get you 3 cards. No, it's terrible.
It's like the new JS, the +1. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one back, put one in your grab.
Whoa. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm not a fan of it.
I think it might see some play in some sort of graveyard decks. It's 5 cost mana though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I lied. It's bad. Alright, so, we're on to game 2 here, and this is probably more aligned in Dougal's favour now.
Yeah, look, now he gets to bring in his sideboard and he's on the play, meaning really I'm only going to get to cast 1 cantrip until I get Thalia'd, or Canonist, or Spirited. Something is going to happen on turn 2, because Dougal's not keeping a hand that doesn't do something like that on turn 2. He's going to mulligan into it. And because I think he's probably now at 4 Thalia, 3 or 4 Canonist, 3 or 4 Spirit.
Oh, wow.
He'll have a lot of hate for me. I think Dougal made a mistake in this match by leaving in Revoker, because it doesn't work against my deck.
Okay, does it not work against Dream Holes? Is that...
No, it's not a trigger.
What kind of effect is that?
It's not an activated ability.
Alright.
It's just an ability. It's a static ability.
Okay. Alright.
So I am mulliganing, because I believe that hand was land light.
Fair enough.
And it's quite important to have that land. So
Yeah.
what I'm hoping for here essentially is probably to draw into my combo very quickly and go off very quickly, because the longer the game goes, the more hate I've got to play around.
So ultimately, you're really hoping for something like a turn 2 show and tell your Omniscience?
Yes.
Or, okay, and just hoping they don't have an O-ring, or...
Yeah, essentially the best hand that I could hope for would be turn 1 Ponder into the combo, turn 2 Ancient Tomb show and tell into Omniscience with Enter the Infinite and Cunning Wish in hand.
How do you go against something like Dougal's deck when he can play so many things off show and tell that could screw you up? Like, he could bring in a Spirit of the Labyrinth or an Aether Sworn Canonist or even an O-ring off off of your own show and tell.
Oh, he can, and that's why it's really important to have Cunning Wish in hand. Because if they're putting in creatures you don't like, you've got a Cunning Wish in hand. Either that turn or the next turn, you're going to be able to deal with that creature.
Okay.
Do you have Gitaxian Probe at all?
I don't know. No. So I don't know what's going on in their hands. I can take a guess, though.
Why? What made you decide to not run Gitaxian Probe?
There's just no room.
As a free mana...
Yeah, there's just no room.
Perfect information draw spell.
What I've done is maxed out on all of the combo pieces as 4-ofs. And it just doesn't leave any room,
Just
unfortunately.
you wouldn't maybe change ponders around?
I've thought about one. No, I'd probably take Preordain if I was going to take anything. I think I've just hit an Intuition and Show and Tell.
Intuition, a fantastic card. You get to search for 3 of your favourite cards, but one of them, your opponent chooses one to put into your hand, and the rest go to your graveyard.
I'm keeping that. Now, I think here you'll see some plays that I probably could have made differently, and I'll try and highlight them for you.
Okay.
I think I might have had a better chance of winning if I'd played these 2 to 3 games differently. There's my number 1 hated card in Dougal's deck, Canonist. I can only play 1 spell a turn now, and that's not really good for me at all.
No.
So what I had here is I had a show and tell, and I had an Omniscience in hand. As you can see the show and tell there, and you can see I believe that's the Omniscience at the end.
Yep.
So I think what I should have done is and I think I have an Ancient Tomb, perhaps as well.
So what you're saying is, if you had that Ancient Tomb...
I think I should have run out the Omniscience now.
Okay.
And then I wouldn't have had to pay any mana for my spells, which would have put me in a better position to try and use my resources more effectively to dig around in my deck.
Yeah, you still would have had the Cunning Wish.
Yeah, exactly right. So any number of things, once I've got Omniscience on the board, that I rip off the top end of the game. So I think I might have been able to play that a bit better.
Alright.
But anyway, well, I did think I just fetched away some stuff I didn't want on the top, and I'm preordaining. So I think here I preordain into a Misty, and I think that's another Misty, or another fetch land. Maybe not, I wouldn't be thinking about it so hard if it was. I'm going to put those to the bottom.
Yep.
Draw a card. I drew an Omniscience. So yeah. Now, I think I should be ramming this next turn.
You're not worried about perhaps an O-ring or a...
I am, yeah. Yeah, I am.
But the other card that I forgot about.
There's
Spirit of the Labyrinth. Thank you very much.
Spirit, Flicker Wisp. There are lots of things. I think he actually does put a Flicker Wisp in response to my Omniscience. There's... Again, not the card that I wanted to see. That increases his clock dramatically.
He draws cards.
Yeah, and he draws cards as well. So that was really not what I wanted to see.
So we can really...
And this is why I'm sort of pausing here. This changed my whole plan that I had in my head, given the amount of damage I can take before I die, calculation to when I can go off. And
Sure.
so I'm sort of having to think.
So is your plan still to jam that show and
Well, it should have been now. It should have been.
Okay.
But so I'm just having a look, making sure that it draws. Yeah, 2 damage, draw a card.
So do you have an Enter the Infinite as well?
I
So
don't
you
at the moment.
Alright, so that's your real problem then.
Yeah, that is the real problem. So I'm going to brainstorm at the end of turn. That's what I'm looking. I think I'm looking for something.
Very solid sequencing. Playing your sorcery in your own turn and then getting around that Ethereum Sculptor.
And there's a terrible brainstorm. Underground C2 Island. Woo!
Alright, any fetch lands to
That's
get
magic.
away from that?
I don't think I do. No.
Ooh.
No.
That's
So I was just trying to maximise the amount of cards that I could see to try and play around Canonist. But
That's absolutely correct, but
yeah.
it's not a lot you can do in that
So,
sort of
yeah,
situation.
that wasn't a good brainstorm for me, unfortunately. And what forced the brainstorm, I think, was that sword. I think I would have held it longer if it hadn't been played, because I know that clock's now going to be 6 a turn.
Okay.
So I'm having a think here. This is where I was thinking about jamming Omniscience. And maybe I do. I'm not sure if that's this game or the next game.
Forgotten.
I've forgotten.
Okay.
So I am, yeah, I'm jamming
I think
Omniscience
jamming
here.
Omniscience is the right play, but
So Dougal's letting it resolve, and I believe he is putting in a Flicker Wisp. Yes. So he's going to flick my Omniscience.
okay. No responses?
No, I only have lands in hand, I believe.
Ooh. But also you can't cast an extra spell this turn.
Yeah. I can't make out that blue card in my hand, I'm sorry.
That's right.
There's a Philosopher Storm, I believe.
Oh, it is, right. Yeah.
Okay, so what made you decide not to board that out?
Oh, look, I'm just a bit I was a bit unsure about boarding against this Death and Taxes deck, so I wasn't quite sure what I wanted in and out.
Uh-huh.
Against blue decks, it's fairly straightforward, but against this, you've just got to take a little bit of a different strategy. So,
Okay.
So this is just thinking about what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
On the turn, I'm just doing a bit of math in my head, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, Dougal is in a good position here.
With
He
that
has a big clock now.
Revoker.
Balls in Revoker.
Okay.
Does he name anything? Or
Yeah, he does. I believe he names Dream Halls.
which doesn't do anything?
It doesn't do anything, no.
Okay. Alright. Very interesting. Okay, we're back after some technical difficulties there.
I believe he just flashed in Revoker naming Dream Halls.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And
Filed in.
yeah, I'm stuck facing quite a quick clock now.
Yeah, that looks like a hefty board, especially with an equip of that Sword of Fire and Ice there.
Yeah, that's 11 damage.
Sophie.
Yeah, so 1, 2, oh, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You are absolutely correct. That's really gonna hurt. Alright, so you basically need to top deck and enter the infinite.
I actually probably need to top deck a Toxic Deluge.
I believe you have one in your hand, don't you?
I'm not sure.
I thought you did.
Maybe I do.
I could be wrong.
Could you maybe say Cunning Wish or Wipe Away?
No, at the end of the turn I could. Yeah, if I had a Cunning Wish now, I could Cunning Wish for Wipe Away.
Okay.
And then wipe the Canonist. And then
Next
as long as I've got the infinite.
You would have to do it next turn though. 'cause
Yeah,
of
the Canonist, that's right. No, I could. I'd wipe away the next turn, but I would Cunning Wish in that turn. So I just draw that. I know what it is. It's an Underground Sea.
So you have to deluge for about 300 here.
Yeah.
Correct?
Look, I deluge for 3.
Yeah, that sounds
So
right.
that'll kill the Flicker Wisp with the sword attached to it.
Yep.
So that puts me down to, I think it's 5 I was on. So still gives me it gives me outs anyway.
Unless Dougal place another creature off that 8th of Isle, basically.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
And,
no. Literally anything will kill you.
Literally anything, because it'll pick up the sword and that'll
Yeah.
be that.
And that's game. So basically, you're hoping he doesn't have a creature in hand.
I do.
That costs 2 mana.
Then I pass the
Stoneforge
turn.
Mystic is
And
right
there is the Stoneforge. That will do it.
That's right. So Stoneforge comes in. I know now that's game over for me, but given that it's either untimed rounds, I decided to make Dougal go through the motions.
No, absolutely. And I always feel that making your opponent go through the motions, especially in an untimed round, is so much better. Basically because they could screw up or something bad could happen. So unless the excuse me, there it is again. Unless the win is completely on board or shown somehow, I'll make you go through every single bit of those motions to win your game. Just because it's important to know how to play your deck. Dougal just thinking whether to equip, I'm assuming.
I think he was a little worried about why I was sitting there looking so calm. So he has another Canonist, which again
really
ruins whatever I would have had to do in response to the Stoneforge attack. And I screwed. Because yes, he's saying, I thought you had something. I said, no, I had nothing at all.
Alright, so we're on to game 3 here. And it's basically just hope for the best now, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm having... so you'll see my sideboarding ability here. Ram the 15 cards in.
Yep. Do a bit of a shuffle.
Do a bit of a shuffle and then go through and take probably the 15 same cards that I just put in back out.
Okay.
Because I've actually thought a lot more about sideboarding in this matchup, and I've added an extra Thoughtseize in the deck and also an extra Wipe Away. So I'm actually going to bring in 4 Thoughtseize, 2 Deluge, a Wipe Away, and a Swamp.
Okay. So they're in from the main board, in from the side.
Yeah, and having 2 Wipe Away allows you to bring 1 in and leave 1 out for the Cunning Wish target as well. Which
gives you essentially 5 Wipe Aways to hit.
Yeah. The best way to win against Dougal is for me to actually get an Into the Infinite off, and draw into the Toxic Deluge the board, and then win. So that's what I did against Death and Taxes in the second round here.
Okay.
I didn't get the opportunity to do that in the second game, unfortunately. But
we'll see how the
hope
game goes.
It pans out for me a bit better here.
Yeah. Well, obviously you know what's happening.
I do, yes, yeah.
I didn't. I set and forget, basically. So I can stay fresh. And boy, you didn't even attend to this event.
I was
letting us legacy players down. We needed some more blood.
I saved myself getting destroyed on camera.
No.
I was like, this is literally my thought process. I wake up 8 o'clock. I'm like, I should probably go head to Legacy.
You absolutely
and I'm
should.
like, what have I got? I've got Stoneblade built. No, people play Merfolk. I'm not gonna bother.
I believe only Charlie was playing Merfolk.
Now,
so
I must say,
how lazy I am.
I must say, we do need to start turning out to these legacy events. Good Games are really generous in the price support they put up. There was $150 for first, I believe 100 for second,
yep.
50 for third and fourth, 25 each for 5, 6, 7, 8. So
yes.
That's a fairly big price pool for an event of. It was only ended up being 14 players. So
I thought there was 18.
No, it was only 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was a little disappointing that we didn't get more people. So considering we all get there for the weekly legacy, I think we should really show some support to these monthly legacy events.
If you can have 30 people for a weekly legacy
surely
event,
you can get that much for a competitive week.
With $150 on the line, that's a lot more than 40.
And prizes will scale
with
the more people
players.
come, and that's being discussed at the moment with the the store. So because I know the store wants to give us both casual and competitive events to play. So
Absolutely.
yeah, we're working with
You know.
the store to do that.
I might even pitch in and help when Full House Games is a bit bigger to run some events of our own.
Fair enough.
There we go. I'm on the play here,
Always a good place to be.
which I'm actually reconsidering. I think maybe I should be on the draw to see an extra card, but I've yet to test that. So I
Okay.
did decide in this case to be on the play.
Make people think you're playing Mentalist Rec.
Yes, I did do that to a fair amount of people. Against blue, I'll draw always.
Okay, just because it's slower.
Just because, yeah, I'm really not fussed about, how fast I go off. They're usually not fast enough to kill me.
Obviously, it takes you at least 2 turns to
Exactly right.
go off, so you might as well amplify your second turn, basically.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay.
Even a Flip Delver won't kill me before I can go off. Conwell flipped his Delver naturally second turn and beat me down to 1 life, and I managed to kill him from 1 life.
Wow.
So that threw double him Thoughtseize. So it was it happens.
I reckon,
Absolutely.
I reckon
Has anyone had an Aethys Worn Canonist in play and managed to him you after you've cast Enter the Infinite? I would love to see that.
No one's
Oh.
done that to me. I'm sure it will happen.
I would absolutely love to see that. I'm sure that would be a very impressive.
So Ether Vial, I'm sort of liking this. I'm sort of liking this hand at the moment, but Vial sort of doubles Dougal's Clock because it's just the most broken card ever sometimes.
Yeah.
With creatures like this that just ramp it to 2 and then you pretty much just doubled your mana.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's a Dark Ritual every turn almost.
Yeah, essentially it is.
So why, I don't know if you guys know at all, but why does it see a lot more play in Legacy over, say, Modern? Because it is still legal there, correct?
Yes, it is. It's actually probably one of the more broken cards that is still legal in Modern, but I don't play much Modern, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
We should get the Doog Master along for commentary one day. He'd be able to explain that to us, because I know he
Fair
plays a
enough.
lot of Modern.
Alright.
I played against him at Modern last week, and he was playing Zoo. He stomped me 2-0 as per usual.
Now, here's my worst nightmare.
Perfect for a deck like
It'd
Zoo.
be perfect for commentary.
This hand is coming along from Dougal to be pretty much the ultimate combo hand, because he's got now a Rishadan Port, which you can use to lock my mana down. He's got a Thalia, which makes everything I play cost 1 more.
So-
And he's got a
it is
Vial.
Thalia, yep.
And he's got a Vial, which is going to be up to 2 next turn, which will allow me to play him. His hate goes out for free. So
Yeah.
this is not going all that well for me at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm...
Do you run any Wastelands at all?
I do
or-
not know.
Okay, so what was your thought process on that?
I don't need to mess with their mana. I just want to win. So it's
Right,
no
sure.
point in running Wastelands. I'm not vulnerable to Wasteland myself, so only really the Soul Lands are. So
Do you guys know if Dougal runs Mangara?
he doesn't know. He used to, but he took it out.
It's a bit slow, Mangara. Of Condor.
So there's a classic
Can't
example of why I hate Thalia. I just had to pay 2 mana for a preordain and pass the turn, not doing anything else. So it's really not good for me.
So you want to wipe that away as soon as possible.
I would love to get rid of it. Really, what I can see, I've got a show and tell in hand, and what I was thinking also is when I should be playing it.
Okay.
I wasn't sure whether I should be waiting. So Dougal is Canonist, turn 3. So this is evolving into a not very nice board state for me.
Alright, I'm interested in why Dougal didn't use the
Well, I would say it's
Eighth Vial.
because he has another 2 casting cost, something he wants to play on me.
Fair enough. But I mean, he could have waited until your turn and then vialed in the Canonist
He could.
to sort of screw you even
He
more.
could. He could. No, I've put him on Spirit of Labyrinth. That's what I think he has in hand.
Okay, alright.
And which he's going to use in response to one of my cantrips.
Yeah, that's a solid line.
So that's what I think is going to go on.
Alright. So,
So
so you
untap here.
maybe a brainstorm, like in response to a brainstorm?
Yeah, or a ponder. Or
Okay.
a preordain. I've just drawn the ponder. Play turn, I understand.
Something you need with a Thalia in play.
Yeah, see, here I'm thinking whether I ran a show and tell or not. And I think I actually should have ran the show and tell here. And I think that's the incorrect play. Because I knew he had the spirit. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I should have played the show and tell out. I should have pulled out fourth man, played the show and tell.
Okay.
So now I get to reorder that. Which is not ideal, really.
Hmm. So do you have a fourth land in hand?
I do. I put it onto in hand, I believe.
So run us through what you would have expected if you played a show and tell instead.
Well, essentially, any number of cards that I can draw off the top of my hand, my deck make me really I'm live to winning.
Okay.
So, yeah, see, I'm having a think here.
Alright, but with those two powerful pieces in play,
The Canonist and the Spirit.
and the Spirit Guide, and the Spirit, how well do you think you'll go?
Exactly right, and it was sort of a bit of a... So I'm just pointing to the Spirit saying, I don't draw... See, I've got Show and Tell, I believe I've got Omniscience.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I just, I was unsure. Dougal's assembled pretty much the ideal board state against me, though.
This is looking like a dream team comp for Dougal here.
Yeah. Turn 2 Thalia, turn 3 Spirit, turn 3 Canonist, Rishon and Port, Violon 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so I was tossing up the show and tell there. So here they come for 6. I think that takes me down to 8.
If you had have rammed that show and tell into the Omniscience,
I'm not sure what Dougal had in hand.
what would you be worried about?
Oh,
Like, how would you have had to sequence to get around 3 creatures? Do you have a deluge in hand? Do you
no, yeah.
hope to draw that deluge?
What I'm hoping for is a Cunning Wish.
For a Cunning Wish to hit?
I want a Cunning Wish for a wipe away the Spirit.
The Spirit or the Canonist?
Probably the Spirit.
Okay.
Then on the next turn, this is a 2-turn process now, unfortunately, because of the Canonist. So ideally I'm wanting to wipe away the Spirit.
You need to play a land to do that as well.
Yeah, I know. It's really difficult. And here's me thinking I'm dead now.
So really, you almost had no outs.
Yeah, pretty much I had no outs. So that's a perfect board from him, and I don't have many outs.
So you needed a deluge.
I do have a Cunning Wish
Deluge
in hand, I believe.
Okay.
I just don't have the ability to sequence it properly now, given the limitations that the board's putting on me.
Okay.
So Dougal has drawn a very good hand and played it very well. Of course, I'm 1 mana short because of the port, which is frustrating.
So you reckon everything would have changed if you had have got that Omniscience?
I don't know. I can't remember particularly
Okay.
what I would have done. I just had a feeling that maybe that would have been given me better EV in terms of winning the match, because then I don't have mana problems then.
Yep, I feel like you're right. You can just pay.
I can just do whatever I want when I want. Because I can play, through the Thalia is easy.
1 spell turn, but it only costs you 4.
Yeah, that's a Cunning Wish in the very left of my hand.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
So
Here's me thinking, why don't I have that? There's a new card that turns all creatures into 1/1 frogs.
Polymorphous Jest?
Yeah, so just something I'm thinking about for the sideboard. I'm thinking,
Okay.
geez, if I had that, I could Polymorphous Jest all of those, and then just do what the hell I wanted.
Yeah, pretty solid. Have you thought about anything like Jonathan Winter's tech, where he runs the personal tutor to say get that toxic deluge or the show and tell?
It's consistent enough with the 12 cantrips. I find that you don't need the personal tutor.
Okay.
I mean, I've got everything I need in hand now. I've got the combo.
Sure.
I just can't play it out because I'm restricted to 1 spell a turn.
But say if you had your personal tutor, you could personal tutor for that toxic deluge and the acid rain wins you the game, and like you can then play through that.
I'm playing out my show and tell. unfortunately, I'm a little frustrated. I don't know whether I should be switching up a number of tombs and traders because I've taken a lot of damage from these ancient tombs.
Okay.
Here's Ming just stepping in to confirm that I did pay for the Thalia, which I did. He just didn't know what Ancient Tomb did.
Fair enough.
So he didn't realise it made 2 mana.
It is a difficult card, but no, Ming doesn't.
So now, I've got an Aether Mind Sensor, and this is me realising I should have cracked that fetch land before I played the Omniscience.
So you just pretty much realised you
So
shot yourself on the foot.
Yeah, I've just shot myself in the foot here.
Okay.
So I do go for the Hail Mary crack, I believe.
So, if you could have cracked that, would you have been able to win
Well, I had the 1 mana for Cunning Wish
from here?
Okay.
Okay.
But because of the Ancient Tomb, I think I'm down to 6, and so this is lethal.
Alright.